Hi everyone, welcome to Living in the IT Era, Chapter 2, entitled History of Computers. First, let's talk about the history of computers. The computer was born not for entertainment or email, but out of a need to solve a serious number of crunching crises. Computers evolved based on the type of computers used in the design. At present, scientists and researchers have identified five generations based on design, suitability, and reliability. It is an applied science where it addresses the problem in society. In connection to STS or science, technology, and society, the invention of calculator paved the way the invention of more complex technology, which is called computer. The first generation of computers. Electronic numeric integrator and calculator was considered to be the first generation computer. The first generation computer used vacuum tubes for the circuitry and magnetic drums for the memory. And one of its disadvantages, it is space consuming, taking up big rooms. It was very expensive to operate and it uses a great amount of electricity and also produces a large amount of heat. Also, it can only solve one problem at a time and can do multitasking work. This computer could store only limited or small amount of information and only do arithmetic operations such as addition and subtraction up to 10 digits. Next, let's talk about the second generation computer. Transistors were used in the second generation computer, and transistors replaced the vacuum tubes. It is much smaller and faster compared to vacuum tubes. It generates less heat and electricity. However, it still produces large amount of heat that may damage the computer, and this is still expensive. Transistors are superior to vacuum tube because it is smaller, cheaper, and faster, such as with good speed and can calculate the data in the microseconds. Let's now proceed to the third generation computer. The integrated circuits were used in the third generation of the computers. Transistors were placed on the silicon chips known as semiconductors, which increases the speed and efficiency of the computer drastically. In the third generation computer, this generation now uses keyboards, monitors, and interface with an OS or operating system. In this generation, the computer can run many applications at one time. Moreover, this generation of computer is smaller, cheaper, and reliable compared to second generation computer. Next, let's talk about the fourth generation computer. A very large scale integrated circuits were used in this particular generation. These circuits have about 5,000 transistors and other circuit elements connected on a single chip known as microprocessor. The first generation of computer occupies the entire room, but now the fourth generation of computer can fit in the palm of the hand. The fourth generation of computer became more powerful and could be linked together to form networks, which led to the internet development. In the fourth generation computer, we saw the development of the keyboard, mouse, and other handheld devices. Microprocessor technology can be used and applied for pocket calculators, television sets, automotive devices, and audio and visual appliances. Lastly, the fifth generation computer. The very large scale integrated technology has evolved to ultra large scale integration technology. The fifth generation of computer is based on artificial intelligence and still in the development. There are many applications which are used in this generation, like voice recognition, which is being used today. The use of superconductors and parallel processing helps to make artificial intelligence a reality. The goal or target of this generation is to develop the devices that respond to natural languages. Now, let's summarize the generations of computer. Computer using vacuum tubes were called the first generation, transistors for the second generations, integrated circuits for the third generation, and those using microprocessors, fourth generation computers. Whereas previous computers generations had focused on increasing the numbers of logic elements in a single CPU, but in the fifth generation, it is believed that it can instead turn CPU to massive numbers for added performance. So for the generations first to third, just remember the acronym SAT-GIG. And for the fourth and fifth generations, just remember the acronym VMOOC. For the first generation computer, it is also known as electronic numeric integrator and calculator, which store limited and small amount of information only and can do arithmetic operations up to 10 digits. For the second generation computer, it uses transistor as interior section. It is smaller and faster compared to first generation computer. It generates less heat and electricity, but still it may damage the computer due to heat production. Third generation computer uses integrated circuit. It made use of chips which increases the speed and efficiency of the computer drastically. Fourth generation computer, it uses a very large scale integrated circuit which microprocessor was introduced. This can be used and applied for pocket calculators, television sets, automotive, any devices, and audio and video appliances. And lastly, fifth generation computer, which uses an ultra large scale integration technology, which is associated with artificial intelligences, natural language, and expert system.